In this week's Parsha, Parshas Nitzavim, Moshe Rabbeinu gathers all the Bnei Yisrael, and Rashi asks, why is it that we have Parshas Nitzavim right after the Parsha of the 100 minus 2 curses? And he says the answer is because the Bnei Yisrael, when they heard these curses, they were afraid, and they said, how are we going to survive? So Moshe said, Atem Nitzavim, just like you are standing today, after all that you angered God, you will survive all these punishments should they come to fruition. And the question is, why did Rashi say 100 minus 2 curses? Why couldn't he just say 98 curses and be direct? So the answer is there really were 100 curses, and just 2 of them were only hinted to by remez. It was an allusion, and these allusions referred to Misa Sadiqim, the curse of the death of the righteous. So why is it that the death of the righteous is actually something that's worse than the other 98 combined? Because in each of these klalos there's actually an act of tov, an act of chesed from Hashem. By virtue of enumerating these klalos, they will eventually mitigate them when they come into fruition. Just like a father who's upset at his child will threaten the child and says, if you do this, I'm going to punish you with X, Y, and Z. So even by the virtue of him threatening the punishment, by expressing it in a lashon of a dibur, it'll mitigate his anger, and the punishment won't be as much. The same is kaviyachol with Hashem, that by expressing these kalalos here, it's going to mitigate it. However, when it comes to Misa Tzadikim, there was no mitigation, and therefore at some point it's going to have to come into fruition. As a safety for the Bnei Yisrael, when the door is worthy of being destroyed, Hashem will take it out on the Tzadikim of that generation, and that will be the punishment, rather than destroying all of the Bnei Yisrael, that door. So this explains why it is that Rashi mentioned 100 minus 2, because these 2 other ones were worse than the ones that were enumerated here, and that is the distinction, and that is the lesson. As we enter Rosh Hashanah 5771, may we have a year of Simcha and a year of Geula and Nechama.